Hello there. My name is Brandon Everett, and I'm the founder of Be Mindful, and this is another Friday morning mindfulness. So this week, what I wanted to talk about, what came to mind this morning when I was considering what to share, routine in our life. Routine and habits can be so helpful. Routines and habits literally save us like oodles of time and resources. The example I'd like to share is imagine if every morning, to decide what you were going to wear, you had to take out every piece of clothing you own, every top, every bottom, every undergarment, every sock, and decide what you were going to wear. Right? Overwhelming the amount of choice. And that would take an incredible amount of time. You would miss the day by the time you'd kind of figured out what you wanted to do, how you wanted to dress. So routines and habits, they save time, they save energy, they give us a felt sense of discipline. If we can kind of, come up with a task, apply ourselves to it, and find success, whatever that looks like in accomplishing it. It can give us a sense of, I'm someone who is capable of coming up with an idea, following through, and, providing, whether for myself or other people. But there is a drawback. And one of the drawbacks of, really good routines or, well-honed habits is that we can get so good and so dedicated and so disciplined that it almost feels like there's no room to breathe. We feel like there's no creative spark. We're just going through the motions day after day. And we could actually be living what from the outside looks like an incredibly effective and productive life, getting a lot done. But conversely, our interior experience of that is, I am just going through the motions. I'm just on autopilot. Life feels kind of bleh, meh, even though I'm getting all of this done. And so I'd like to tie this in with, how does mindfulness speak to this idea? What does mindfulness have to do with the fact that, I've organized my life and my day so well that now I kind of feel like I'm in a rut of sorts. Like the discipline has backfired and become a cage. Practicing mindfulness, we can realize that a few things. Number one, during the mindfulness practice this morning, I'm going to invite you to sit comfortably, gently close your eyes, and just bring your attention to the feeling of your natural breath. I'm going to invite you to feel the sensations of your breathing in and feel the sensations of your breathing out. You don't need to breathe in any particular way. But I just want you to notice how, moment to moment, your natural breath has slight variations in it. Some breaths are more smooth than others. Some are more choppy. Some breaths are bigger and deeper than others. Some are more shallow. None of them is wrong. Each of them is individual. Each of them is unique unto themselves, each breath. Likewise, no matter how fixed our day seems, if we, look back a couple days, look forward a couple days, it seems like, it's just monotony. I'm going to do the same thing over and over. Within that apparent monotony, that is an illusion that it's all going to be the same. That just like each breath is unique in its own way, without our trying to make it different or unique, it simply will be different and unique. So the breath is different and unique. Our days are different and unique no matter what. And secondly, the other tie-in here is, if we are feeling like our habits are running our lives, our routine is running our lives, during the mindfulness practice today, I'll also invite you to recognize that, there might be, during the practice, thoughts that come up of, oh, I need to do this, or oh, I need to take care of that. Notice if even as those thoughts arise, your attention goes to the thought, but that like trains kind of arriving at a station, you can either give your attention to that thought and take that train ride and go with it, or you can choose to stay on the platform in the present moment, bringing your attention back to your breathing. So again, we're noticing with each breath that there's singularity of each breath. Each one is a unique expression. The present moment remains continually open and fresh in that way. We're also going to recognize how even when a thought arises, even when a felt energetic impulse to get up or to move arises, we're going to treat those like trains arriving to a platform, and just see if during the practice you can see a train of thought arrive and you choose to stay with the breath, the moment that you're in. What you're doing in that moment is choosing differently. You're stepping out of routine, stepping out of habit, stepping out of always acting on the thought that arrives, and choosing differently. And that choosing is your real freedom. So let's check this out. So if you're not already, I want to invite you to come into a comfortable, seated posture. And you can invite your eyes to softly close. And take these first few moments, feel within your body. Notice in your neck, in your shoulders, is there any felt sense of tension? And if you feel any tension in the neck, the shoulders, your jaw, or across your forehead, see if just by noticing that there's a sense of tension or bracing, see if just by noticing it, you could invite it to soften. All right, and so now having invited the body into a more relaxed, seated posture, I'll now invite you to bring your attention to find the sensations of your breathing. And what I mean by that, this is no great mystery. Simply feel within your chest and belly the sensation of your breathing. As you breathe in the shoulders and chest and belly, there's a feeling of the shoulders lift, the chest expands, the belly moving forward. Breathing out, the belly softens, the chest relaxes, and the shoulders let go. See if you can rest your attention on the feeling of your breathing. Can you follow the sensations of the in-breath and the sensations of the out-breath? Just notice that for the next few breaths. As you breathe in, noticing the sensations in your shoulders, chest, and belly. As you breathe out, feeling the sensations in your belly, chest, and shoulders. So as you continue in this simple way, your attention following the feeling of your breathing, notice if any thought arises about what you have to do later or an experience you had earlier. Notice that you can witness the thought arise like a train pulling up to the platform, and that you can choose whether to give your attention to the thought or to return your attention to your breathing. So for just the next few moments, follow the feeling of your breathing. Notice if any thoughts arise. And if you notice one does arise, see if you can choose to come back to the feeling of your breathing. Check that out. Again, following the feeling of your breathing, that's the thing you're most interested in. When you notice a thought arises or arrives, notice how it tries to pull your attention along with it. And see if you can notice in that moment that the thought arises, you can choose to follow the thought or to come back to your breathing. And then see if, can you choose in just this moment to come back to the feeling of your breathing. And for these last few moments, these last few breaths, let go of even the idea, I am meditating. Just notice within your body any felt sense of openness, ease, or relaxation. That is, notice what it feels like to choose to be present and to choose to stay present as best you can. And then you can begin to slowly, gently open your eyes. So the closing thought, the closing exercise I'd like to leave you with today is, as you go about your day, when you feel the pull of habit, the pull of routine, when you notice a thought arises that says, I should do this, or I have to do this, this must happen, see if, just like in the mindfulness practice, you noticed a thought arise, but you noticed there was still the opportunity for you to choose. Choose to follow the thought, or choose to come back to the breath and the moment. See if later today, when that thought arises, when that pull to do something comes up, can you notice that you could follow that or choose to remain present? Present in your body, present with your breath. And in that choosing to remain present, you choose openness. You choose freedom. The freedom not to be dragged around by thought. The freedom to opt out of habit, to opt out of routine, to touch in with the freshness of life. So if you enjoyed this class, please give a like, give a share. That's how goodness grows. Thank you so much for sharing your time and attention with me. I hope the class has been of benefit. Till our paths cross again. Take care.